Hello, everybody. I'm happy to welcome the third guest of the special edition of the Good Vintage podcast. It is Eliana Nigro. I hope I pronounce it well.
Yeah, it's
Wel-
perfect.
welcome, Eliana.
Hi.
Hi. So the reason how I found you or I discovered you how I started to follow you was that I heard you doing one online webinar from Notfi,
Nordfy. Yes.
Notfi. And I very much like the webinar, and you are one of the speakers that really stuck in my head because the words you said, or like I will say it in my words, but it was like about the AI and the future of the computational design. And you said that you think that the soft skills will be even more important in the future than, for example, only the programming. And so there were really like a lot of interesting speakers, but this somehow it was like something that I kind of like didn't hear till that moment. So I thought it would be great to invite you as a guest.
Thank you. That's
and so
actually so nice to hear because it was a very successful webinar with so many people joining from all over the world, even from like big international companies. And I was there with some brilliant minds of the Scandinavian industry. I was the only woman. And I have to say, I was so excited and I felt so grateful to share my opinions. But of course, it's also like, you never know how people are going to react, and it takes also a lot of courage to say what you truly believe. And it's not that I have like the full truth about it.
Sure.
I don't know, but I'm very happy that you liked it.
Even to know how I found it, I think I followed somebody on LinkedIn and then I saw it and I thought it would be interesting, and then it was very interesting. And I'm very happy that you mentioned that you were the only woman, because that's kind of like an issue that now when I'm kind of more deep into the whole digital planning and BIM and AI, and so it's really like a male-dominated area. So I hope we can change it.
I also hope so, and especially when you talk about the computational design and in general technology, is not so many women involved. Unfortunately, I was at one point, reading a few data, and I found out I read it online. So sorry if it is not 100% true. This is what I read, is 25% of women in tech. So it is a very, very tiny percentage.
Yeah.
And I hope that like more and more people will get involved into this field.
Yeah, I can only agree. Right at the beginning, I must say that you have a very impressive CV. And I
Thank
have
you.
no idea how you managed to do all the things. And your current position is the head of Kobe Computational Design. I will get later to this specific position, but maybe I would like to start a bit with your background, studies and so. So I know that you studied architecture at the beginning. So can you tell me how to become from being an architect to being a computational designer?
Okay, yes, that's an interesting question. So as you said, I studied general architecture, but already my program at Federico II in Napoli, which is the city I'm from, so my hometown, they have this wonderful holistic approach where you study both humanistic and scientific subjects. So I have quite a strong engineering background, but I have to say that there was not much software skills involved. Like there was not much shared about this very specific topic of coding. It was more like, I don't know, I got so interested in performative approaches or into simplifying complex geometry that I decided to, test it out, see how I could, understand better these aspects of architecture. And I made my thesis on finite element modeling, especially on concrete shells and how to optimize them. And that was the moment where I could use more and more these skills. And I was also quite lucky because in my early employments as a graduate teaching assistant or, within a few companies, I could truly improve and, at least test out these skills in the real life. And another thing that also helped me into becoming a better computational designer is also my post-graduation master, because I could have, a better overview of different topics, of very different things. So I think it was like a slow process of building up knowledge.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, exactly. So that I read about you that you studied post-graduation master in digital architecture. And where was that, or how did you choose that program?
Okay, so well, it is, as you said, Master of Digital Architecture.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to know that my dream while I was studying was to become a professor. So
Okay.
my goal was to enter the PhD program.
Mm-hmm.
And when I graduated, there was like a certain span of time where I needed to wait. And I was working back then as a graduate teaching assistant. To enter this PhD program, you need a certain score. This is the
Mm-hmm.
way it works in Napoli, and you also do some exams. So the score is based on articles you have published or, educational courses you have been doing. And I really wanted to optimize as much as possible that time. So especially back then, I had like crazy amount of energies, and I was so like motivated. So I basically searched for some postgraduate programs that could help me into, I don't know, also see other things regarding architecture, because in the Master of Digital Architecture, there is not only the parametric modeling, but more generically the NURBS and polygonal modeling. So you do not only use the Rhino environment, but also, for example, 3ds Max or Maya. And they do quite a lot of rendering with Vue and Corona, video animation, you do post-production, and even like photogrammetry, 3D printing, Arduino, like so many fun things.
Everything.
And yeah, it's really practical. And the best part is that it's happening over the weekend. So I could basically continue to work and then be there and follow the lessons. I didn't know there would be like so many homeworks. So it was like really demanding, and it was hard to keep up with all the things, but totally worth it, especially because I realized, for example, that I don't like rendering, but it was also so crucial for me to understand, how to create materials, because even today, interoperability is so important. So branch out the field of computational design with, many different aspects of architecture.
Yeah, definitely. Just to that, one thing I have to say, my mom, she always thinks that I do visualizations. Even though I'm totally on the same boat with you, that I don't like to do visualizations. But yeah, it's very interesting your path, how it developed. But yeah, I must say, so you are not continuing to be a professor, or is it still your dream?
Oh my God, yes, because I lost the point. Well, yes, exactly. So that was the goal, and I was keeping, teaching there, delivering lectures, writing articles, but at one point on the way, to also, sustain myself living outside my parents' house, I was taking over some jobs. So I was working, and I was like, hey, I do enjoy this quite a lot. Let's give this an opportunity. And somehow I never looked back into doing a PhD. And I think that's also because the teaching part, which is what I really enjoy, I keep doing it. Like I understood that I could do it within the company I'm working for, that I could anyway go in universities and do a few lectures or do online workshops.
Yeah.
But you never know in life. I'm always very, very open-minded.
That's great. And so back to during this time when you still like study, was there some like a particular program, like a software that somehow it was the moment when you knew that, okay, I will be in this world, or something that kind of like help you or like inspired you and help you to develop your skills? Was there something like that?
Yes, there was. But I think there was not a specific moment where I decided I will be a computational designer. But when I tried Grasshopper for the first time, it was a wow moment for me. It was, I don't know, I felt like butterflies. I was so in love with this software, and it was a lot of fun. So I didn't have a goal, an expectation. It was like very natural. I was just trying it out, and I don't know, it came so natural to me, and I loved it. I saw it as some sort of Sudoku. So I was keeping it as an hobby, and slowly I was integrating it while, studying into my exams. And then since I liked it so much, I was helping out other students, and then I also started to teach it. So I don't know, it was very clear that I was very passionate about this, but I am also a person who is very curious, and I am always, I need to study something very, very deeply before taking any decision. So I was also, thinking I'm so young, I don't know so many things about architecture. And I honestly, I don't think I thought I could make a profession out of it, because when I was learning it, there was not much online content, or it was not so widespread. And especially in my university, there was so much misconception about it. It was like, oh, if you use Grasshopper, you're gonna do this useless, irrational blobs. And I was like, guys, come on. You didn't understand anything about it. But again, I was young, I was naive, and you also trust professors. You have the feeling, they might not be right, but I'm also a person who likes to listen to others and learn from others. But I have to say, if I have the moment where everything changed was when, I had also to take over other tasks. So I could, since the very beginning, I was always doing some, computational design, but I was also open to all these other things. Like I did also the renderings, the video animation, all these other stuff. And when I was not, let's say, using Grasshopper, I was like, I miss it. I want to do more of that. And I was like always finding ways to use it more. Maybe, going to a colleague and helping them to write their script. So I don't know. I think it came quite naturally.
Yeah, it sounds like that. Yeah, that the passion was definitely connected with the Grasshopper. It's nice to hear.
I love it.
Yeah,
Thanks, McNeil.
And yeah, I must say what you said about the like the professors and following the people at the university. Yeah, I think it's very hard to kind of like when you're at the university, you kind of like want to listen to people, but at the same time, now I know that maybe not all the things I did because I listened, some professor was the right ones. So to find the right balance to listen to your gut or like listen to others, yeah, it's pretty difficult.
But especially when you are, I don't know, 19, 20 years old, I think it's quite hard to have an overview on architecture, at least for me.
Yeah. And yeah, you mentioned it as well, but to kind of like close this topic of your education, so besides the typical studies at the university, is there some specific course or trainings or some website that help you to? Is there some? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I might have completely different answer than the one that you expect, because I think that the course that shaped me the most was the one about descriptive geometry that I had at the very beginning of my education. Because the professor, she's called Mara Capone, she's so passionate about geometry, and she was so clear and effective in the way she would explain how to generate geometries starting from simple elements. And everything, was abstract or done in 2D or with actual drawings. But it had such a big impact on me. And having that knowledge, I started to do 3D modeling in a certain way, having like these sort of steps in my mind. And I think that is also the reason why Grasshopper was so intuitive to me, because that was already the way I was more or less thinking of how to generate something. So that was actually very important for me, that course. But if I have to take something instead much more related to computational design, another moment that was relevant in my path was a few years after my first approach to Grasshopper, because I was self-taught, and for very long I was using it without having so much to read or people to ask to. So I had my way of doing problem solving. And I have to say, I wasn't elegant in the way I was making my code. So at the very final year of the architecture in Federico II, we got this visiting professor from the University of Melbourne, and he's called Alberto Pugnale. And he had a very short and free workshop about Grasshopper. And he is so well structured, and he was really showing us the basis and how to make sure that everything is clean. And it sounds silly, but it is actually so crucial to be well organized, because you might go back to your script. You might take a few parts, and in my case I do a lot of sharing, so it's very important to have everything very, very clear. So that was an important course for me.
Great. It's nice to hear. So and now I will slowly move to your current position. So
Yes.
you're the head of Kobe computational design. Can you maybe shortly describe what is your position, or what's your a daily work, maybe even for a non-architect people, that they understand what that exactly means?
Okay, so the definition is that I'm responsible for the strategic planning and practical development and integration of computational design methods. What does it mean? That I am this sort of octopus that is spreading scripts around the office in different teams with different people, so different projects. And I am especially focused on a few topics. Like the recurring ones are, let's say, improving the daily workflow. So trying to cut away all the repetitive machine-like tasks, so people can really free that time and focus on designing. That is something that is very important, I believe, because then people can really give their best. And on the other side, this is not enough. We want to bring informations. We want to understand how the design performs. So I do a lot of scripts for extracting data. So we are sure to meet the client's brief and also our mission. And in general, I work a lot with improving the speed, the efficiency, the quality, the precision. And I like to think in general that computational design is this, secret weapon that it helps you to solve a design dilemma or to, just meet a critical design submission deadline. So I see it this way.
Yeah. And so you are at Kobe like around 2 years or more than 2 years. Can you maybe see like the different approach there and in the other offices that you worked before?
Yeah. Okay. So I think since I was given the opportunity to start the department, I could truly shape it according to my values. So what is important to me is collaboration. So something that really sticks with me is the idea that we need to share as much as possible. So if we are in the same office, we are on the same team. We have to join forces, and we need to bring the best out of each other. So in this sense, I don't agree when people believe that computational design is just a niche, is just for a few experts. It is true that not everyone has to like it, but it's very crucial that everyone is able to use the tools. So I put a lot of effort into actually even sitting with, one person. So understanding the way they work, what are their issues, what are their dreams. So sometimes, the basic script, it can be the same, but I like also creating interfaces that can work for people that maybe are not interested into, entering the script. So I really want to give everyone the opportunity to work in a different way. And some people really, are a bit afraid of this technology, but it was like, to me, is the nicest part when, they start to feel comfortable and they come back to me and they want to have more scripts. and I have to say that it's so important also to have non-users on board, because they have another vision. They have they can really bring you some fresh perspectives, and I like improving the scripts together with them. So I don't know. I want to have their feedback to see how they use it. And, they're always, oh, can you add also this feature, or can we do this? And at the end, they open up and they're just like, can you show me the logic? So I try to take care also of these kind of people, and not like, I don't know, thinking that we are like a special group of people within the office.
Yeah. I think you mostly answered, but maybe I will ask this question anyway. So you said you started this department there. So at the beginning, was it hard? Because exactly, I know that some people are kind of not so open to accept the new technologies or like a new things that they have to kind of like add. So did you have some like struggles at the beginning, or was it like a step by step to show small things, how it can improve somebody's work, and then they came again to you?
I have to say that it was exciting, terrifying, and frustrating at the same time. So I think I see the beauty into trying to make people open up to technologies. And I'm also lucky because Kobe is all about creating future-proof design. So many people are actually very open-minded. I think sometimes you also get people coming back to you and saying, you know what, I'm sorry that I wasn't open to it. And I think it's also like, I'm also very lucky because everyone here is very kind. And so I don't know, we always got very positive interactions. But I have to say it was also hard to think how to really make everyone I don't know, part of this vision, because as I said, to me, it's super important that we all work together. So, yeah. I
Totally
don't know,
agree.
this may be in a nutshell, but I'm very, very happy with my work. And if I think back, it was a bit hard, but there was always so much enthusiasm. So I was always very excited, and I was believing so much into this, into this vision.
Yeah. Yeah, I really very much agree what you say, and I must say, so now like I join very often some discussions here in Switzerland, and you can really see how there is a big gap between the people who are doing programming and the classical architects, and to really be able to communicate between those two fields and combine them, it's really for me piece of art, and there is really like a gap that has to be kind of filled. So
I think
yeah.
it helps the fact that generally I'm very empathetic person. So I try to be sensitive about what people care of and their personality. So of course you have to be able and willing to be flexible and adapt also to what people need. And sometimes people have a different timeline. But I have to say that I'm very happy with the results. And generally now everyone gets like very excited, and it's not the management giving me a project, but it is naturally people coming to me and asking for help.
Yeah, that's great.
Yes.
Well, like at the end, you are helping to improve their workflows and being efficient. So, yeah, it's great that people understood that you are there to help them.
Yeah, I think it was clear for many, but of course it's never like always a smooth and perfect flow. Like, let's be honest, it's like everything. It has to be a bit bumpy, otherwise it's not fun enough.
Yeah. And to your job, so is still like a part of your job that you do research, that you try to like learn about new technologies that are coming, or can you maybe say how much time you spend on that?
Yeah. So I always say it that I'm a workshop addict. Like I do a lot of effort into keeping myself updated as better as I can. And I really like studying. So I take around 13, 15 courses a year. And I'm very lucky because in Denmark, you do have educational funds. So I can use that money to, pick the courses I'm interested in. And at the same time, I do also have a percentage according to, my job, my title, that I can spend on research. Because let's be honest, everything that I'm learning that is valid and important for the office, I'm then like bringing back directly to people. But I do much more education than the percentage that I'm given. And yeah, I think that's part of my personality, and it's crucial when you deal with the technologies, because at the end of the day, if you believe that people have to be efficient and they have to, blah, 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 everything I said, yourself, you have to be curious and you have to be open also to test new things. And I also like taking courses because even if sometimes there are many topics and things that I know, it is very relevant for me to see how other people teach. And that tells me a lot also what are my strengths and what I can do better. And I have to say that especially in my field, everyone has their own mindset. So everyone has their own peculiar way of solving scripts. So you always end up having, you know, a few gems to bring back. And another thing that helps me a lot is doing a lot of YouTube. Like I watch a lot of free content online. And I think we are so lucky these years that you can basically learn whatever you want. And it's like also very good content. And another aspect, the light keeps going away. Like the other aspect that is important is actually having a connection with academics. So you remember the teacher I was telling you about, the geometry course? I kept like going back to where we wrote some articles together. I am like delivering lectures to our students. I can follow up some research. And I don't do that only with her. I do have like a few people. So you know, when you have the opportunity to talk with young people, they are not influenced by the real industry. So they come out with big dreams. They have like, I don't know, they really can envision a different future. So that is very important. And it makes me feel like these guys have some sort of crystal ball that tells them about the future. And that also helps, you know, for example, the office to be ready of what might come in the future.
But do you have like a feeling, or like my feeling about the architects are, or like in that like industry, that there are not so many people who would be so passionate about taking the courses so much as you are, because this was like I'm doing now recently a lot of interviews, and one of the things I always say, it's like I love studying. I do all the time some webinars and some courses, and they're always a bit like shocked. Because I even like asked it maybe over lunch. I need a bit more time because there will be some webinar. So
I'm very similar.
And sometimes I just feel, because for example, from other fields, I know that people are going even like for the conferences, or they have like you're doing the work, some webinars like internal. And I still have a feeling that in the architecture field is not that much common. Even though there is like nowadays there's so many content that you can follow and across the world. Now we are talking between Switzerland and Denmark, and for me it's super like inspiring. But I have a feeling that not that many people use it in architecture.
Well, I think in Denmark, since you have this money to use that expire, and you know you cannot take it and do whatever, you have to use it for educational purposes, then I see actually quite a lot of people taking courses, definitely not in a, you know, OCD way as I do. Like I'm very like obsessed. Like I really like it. I really enjoy following courses. And in general, like also reading or trying to know more about a topic. But here is quite well spread. But sometimes if you take a course within like Scandinavia, they are like very, very expensive. So you might take one course during the year with that money. And instead, the courses for nerds, they are so cheap.
Oh yeah, that is actually so much true. Yes.
So yeah, I don't know, but Yeah, definitely. It's peculiar. I think you really have to be a certain type of person to engage so much with this.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. So now we spoke a kind of maybe abstract for some people about your job, what you do. But can you maybe think of some like example of the problem that you solve using the computational design techniques? Some like a basic thing, just that the people that it's not so abstract for them, that they could
Oh,
see maybe it could just help them as well.
so okay. So I've been always lucky to work with talented designers.
Mhm.
So it always came out like into something very tangible, like beautiful architecture. And if I have to name one project that is really close to my heart is the Natural Historical Museum in Shenzhen by Trix, architect. And I've been working on it since the very beginning for 2 years. And it is definitely the project I'm the most proud of. That's because I could script more or less everything. So you really go from the envelope to the structure to the details, and everything works together. And I loved it. Since I made my thesis on the relationship between form and structure, I like the fact that this design, which is so harmonious, which is so elegant, is so well integrated into the landscape. It seems almost emerging from the water, and it is a complex geometry. It looks like it looks complex, but at the end, it is all made by circles and lines. So, you can truly make sure, at least hopefully, I don't know, I hope we made a good job, that, you rationalize also the structures, so the construction and so all. And if you worked with the Asian clients, you might know that they changed the brief quite a lot. So even if we won the competition, they were keeping like asking for different things. Like, so it was very crucial to have everything scripted because it is 100,000 square meter building. So when you need to modify such a shape, it would be impossible to do it by hand and deliver all the visualization. Sometimes we were delivering 3 different models a day, and we are not talking about small things that were changing. It was like the entire thing with all the interior. So I think that was very successful. And another project that I really like, and I think that's because in that case, I made it with one of my best friends for an educational course by parametric architecture. This project is The Fungus Among Us. It's this soft organic playground made with wooden structure that looks like mushrooms. And we could really use the software to create something, I don't know, playful, that would also give so much space to our creative and, let's say, the kid side. So it is a crazy project, of course, but it got so much success, and parametric architecture is even using it on their website to sponsor themselves. So when you scroll, it comes out and it says, "Oh, do you want to subscribe to our newsletter?" So I'm very, very proud, very proud of that. I really like it.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds so incredible to make structures like this. So maybe I would like to ask, how do you see like the creativity versus the technical constraints that kind of occur during the developing it? Or maybe at the beginning, what is the creativity for you?
Mm. That's such an hard question. So
I know.
but I think because I'm Italian,
Yeah.
I was educated with working on sites with a lot of historical traces and a lot of strict regulations. So I give my best when I have like a lot of rules. I love constraints. On the other side of the spectrum, if you give me like a plot with, no brief, no context, I feel lost. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. So to me, the constraints make me like much more creative. And I think it's also part of, scripting something because it helps you into setting the inputs and the parameters. So, I don't know, it kind of helps me in the design process.
Yeah, cool. And yeah, I'm not sure if it's not too personal, but or what kind of part of your job do you like the most? If yeah, you seem to be passionate about everything what you do, but if it's like more to communicating with other people or making your own script for some specific things, or is there something that you can name?
Yeah, so definitely I really like the problem solving part.
Yeah.
And I think that's in my nature. And it's not a nice thing in life,
It's
in
hard.
the rest of the life. It's like if you are an overthinker, is oh my God. So it gives space to this part of me in a very healthy way. And so I don't know, I see it like a puzzle. But the best part to me is connecting with people, not necessarily like, the communication like with the client. I like talking with, my colleagues and, trying to help them out. I think this is a side that is very meaningful to me. It wasn't so clear a few years back, but if I look at my entire life, it makes a lot of sense. And I don't know, it's the best part of my
Yeah.
job.
Great. And yeah, I think, but you mentioned it many times, but that for you it's very important as well to share the knowledges, if I understood correctly, because yeah, you teach as well, and to be kind of like open about what you are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, especially within the office, you have to share as much as possible if you want your office to succeed.
Yeah.
And what do you do with the knowledge if you keep it for yourself? To me, it's very, very important. I I don't know. I just think is, I don't know. In Italy, it's very different. I think because we are such in a competitive environment where there is not enough job for everyone. So I incurred so many times, even when I was studying, into this behavior of like, no, I will not tell you anything. And I have to say, I also evolved because back then there is truly the fear that, you will end up not having a job. So I think this thing of studying so much is also because you always want to be sure to perform in the best way possible. But then, when I especially came to Denmark, I fully embraced this sharing is caring.
Yeah.
And I think it's so beautiful that, you can improve, and also you can see how other people work. We always do sharings, like, I don't know, sometimes I took some courses about, I don't know, Photoshop at the beginning. because you can just join. It's just maybe an half an hour where the head of visualization is sharing with you what he's doing. And somehow it's so interesting, and it also helps you into understanding, how they work and how you can, make a better connection, like a better workflow also with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
it's important to share.
yeah, definitely. And I think it's even for me, it's pretty like a crucial to see that other people, they have the problems as well. It's not that, for example, I have problem with something, but somehow like I see that somebody solved something but they had the problem before. So it kind of like helps me to not to be so hard on me, to see that everybody is having problems and something to solve.
Yes.
But yeah, I must say, I like from my university time, I remember so much how everybody was so like competitive, and like after in the like a daily life as an architect or like a 3D specialist, 3D coordinator, you see that you really have to be open to people because you need to put everything together that it will work.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's a bit I would like this. Yeah, like one thing that I really didn't like so much about my studies, because I think to learn to work together as a team should be already like a teach much more at the university. Maybe it already changed since then, since I graduated. It's some years ago already.
Yeah.
But
It maybe also depends where you're from,
yeah,
because I can really see that here they have such a different mindset.
Mhm.
And also here, for example, the students come first. Like in Italy is like this strong hierarchy where the teacher is on top.
Mhm.
So, when I go back to Italy to have like my sharings, like the students are almost shocked because I talk like them, like in an informal way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, come on, just like we are on we are on the same team.
Yeah.
Like make me any question. And they really like it, because then they open up and they can ask those questions that they are shy about.
Yeah. Cool. And maybe that will be a bit more like or yeah, I will go more to my introduction about you. That's what you said about in this webinar. And I would like to ask, what do you think that would be the crucial skills for the architects in the near future, like in 5 or 10 years? Because I think we all have a feeling that a lot of things are changing. So
Definitely.
how you see it?
So
Another hard question.
I stick with what I said back then, because if you would have asked me now a year ago, I would tell you, you need to learn Adobe package, Rhino, Revit, blah, blah, blah. I would have so much to tell you. But this new technology, like deep learning, is like it's changing everything already.
Yeah.
And the point is, as the scientists say, it's going with a double exponential curve speed. So it's changing all the time. So right now, I cannot tell you, oh, you need to learn Midjourney. Definitely, you need to test it out. You need to, I believe, be curious as much as you can and try to engage with this technology. And at the end, I believe that we might end up having very different softwares compared to the one we use
Yeah.
today. So the best is to keep yourself flexible. So do not be conservative, and stay very open-minded. I think that's the most important thing for young generations, to just it's a difficult moment, let's be honest, because you don't have anymore a clear path. But definitely the future is bright, because we will be able to do things better. Like this technology is nothing like before. It is way beyond humans. Like is somehow also taking over some aspects of what we believe is human creativity. but I don't think it's human against AI. It is more like an opportunity for us to have superpowers. So it is an extension of ourselves. And it is scary, definitely, because it is very powerful. But at the end of the day, better embrace it and learn how to use it and how to make sure that it can reflect our values.
Yeah. So yeah, I can definitely say from what you said that you are like an AI positive person.
I also watched, my YouTube videos that scared me so much.
Yeah.
But I think we cannot fight it. And the reality is that it also surprises me every time in such a positive way. Like yesterday, I was, delivering an abstract for an article on artificial intelligence. And I was prepared, you have to deliver like one image for it. And I spent so many hours with Midjourney just because, not because it wasn't giving me what I wanted, it just is so great. It gives you so many beautiful images. And I know it's a reduction, but I really love Pinterest. This is like the best Pinterest you could ever wish for. Like you can really get so inspired and get so much out of it. So I don't know. At the end is really worth giving it a try. And definitely AI is not all about, text to image.
Yeah.
There is so much more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have now like so many questions that I would like to ask, but or like I say, the things what you said about the flexibility, I think it's even like a crucial that not only the new generation, but even the already a bit older generation kind of learn to be more flexible, because yeah, I see it even like every day in the office or when I used to work for the office that some like a bit older
Sorry.
a bit like older people, they are just like stuck that something has to be in one way, and they just don't see that you have to, oh yeah, maybe tomorrow it will work a bit differently because we will find a bit a better solution. And then for example, when I had to work or when I worked with some like trainees who are like 22 years old, it's so intuitive for them to like switch the things and be so flexible. So I just like wish that even a bit older people kind of like be more open and try to be flexible.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was. And
Yeah,
then
I understand what you mean, because I sometimes with the professors, what I think what they teach to students is very outdated, and they are so much against, even just computational design,
yeah,
using Grasshopper. They are just like, guys, be very mindful, just be careful. And yeah, that's very sad. But in these offices I worked with, since it's a very international and fresh and maybe even very young environment, I have to say I also met older people who maybe would not engage with the technology themselves, but they would be very excited about it.
yeah, cool. And but maybe I already know the answer, but is there, if you could name one app or software like an AI that makes your daily life now easier, is it Midjourney or would you say something else?
I don't think necessarily easier at the moment.
Yeah.
So I think Midjourney is quite useful to make start the design process in a different way. So instead of just taking references from existing architecture, you can actually shape your own according to your design and your beliefs. It becomes like very, very customized, and it also helps into surprising the client at the very beginning.
Yep.
So it is this is somehow like fun. But I think the real difference is gonna come in a while. I actually haven't tried this new software called Vera, because the version for Rhino came out a bit before my holidays, so I haven't had the chance yet. But I could see that it would do this interactive rendering on top of your massing, and also things like that. It could really change change the game, because we use a lot of Enscape within the office for studying the design, and that could like do even better job. So I'm very interested in that could help. But I think the best part will be in the future, where we could like analyze and bring out data with a better efficiency. So I think the best is about to come.
Yeah, you're really very positive person. I like that.
But I have to say it,
Yeah.
because I'm coming from a family where you have to stay positive. So I want to say to the people who are listening to us that it is also impossible to stay like positive all the time. Like there will be moments in life where it's okay to feel sad or angry, and that's part of being human. So I'm very excited in for what I do. I'm very passionate about it. But also for me, there are of course, moments where maybe I don't have the same energy level, or maybe there is something else going on, and it becomes a bit harder to keep up.
Yeah.
And it becomes especially with AI, you really feel you cannot breathe, you cannot literally ever stop. Because even if you nailed the very final version of Midjourney, after a day there is
Something
a new
new.
version coming out, and you don't waste knowledge. It's anyway, you learn how to interact with the AI. You learn what kind of prompting worked for that version, and you might save quite a lot of that knowledge, but still it is very hard. Really, this is a level, like I'm already like you, working a lot on my education and trying to stay updated all the time. But of course, we are now talking about something that, as we said, goes with an incredible speed. And I think I also found myself sometimes a bit frustrated. Like
Yeah.
so it's like an up and down between feeling, oh my God, yes, I nailed it, this is so great, and other moments where you're like, oh my God, I'm never gonna make it. There is something else, and maybe this is even better than before. So just to remember to everyone to try to be as kind as possible with yourself, and no one, I think I got for my entire life such high standards for myself. I was always pushing myself way too much, and perfectionism was definitely killing me. It brought me where I am today, but it's also crucial that we try to also enjoy moments where we cannot give our best.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went into therapy mode.
No, because I wanted to go a bit more into your yourself and inside principles, but I think you pretty much say that one of them would be definitely be kind and try to be positive. Or for example, for me, it's to be solution focused person, that not every time has to be everything positive, but always to have a hope that there is a solution.
Yeah, at least rooted in reality,
Yeah.
and try to be compassionate towards yourself and
Yeah.
also towards the others. I just bought a t-shirt with written "Stop judging."
Oh, really?
Not towards myself, but in general, like we should let people be whoever they want if it's not hurting us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think stay kind is an important motto for me.
Good. And like I have a feeling that then like this principles kind of work for your personal life and working life as well. That they are not actually different.
No.
Or yeah.
I think I can align them. And again, because I could shape these myself, and also because Denmark is very much aligned to my personality. And that's also the reason why I'm here.
Yeah. And do you have some like a daily routines that help you being the way you are, the hardworking and stay being motivated?
So, well, as I said, we cannot be like always 100%. So I'm generally, as you see me, like I have like a lot of energies because I like what I do. And then the problem is I can sit down forever. Like I could sit down for too many hours, and that's not okay. So I actually learned to also take some moments to connect more my mind and my body. So I try always to put some dancing in my weekly routine. I really like that, and that helps me to, to I don't know, somehow free my mind and feel more balanced and I don't know, also be happy. Like it makes me laugh a lot. I'm not good at it, but I enjoy it.
No, it's very funny that you mentioned that because I will like dance my whole life. That I started since I was 6, and I can like see if I don't go dancing during the week, it's somehow like my mind is totally like distracted. And for a long time, I was really like thinking why I'm stuck, not stuck in a bad way, but why I do it my whole life. And I think even some kind of that I'm in the space and I'm creating the space around me when I'm dancing, kind of like connects all the things I'm doing. So yeah, it's pretty funny that I'm on the same level as you are as well.
I think we are very similar. Like
Yes.
as far as
Indeed
you
so.
were telling me, I was like, okay. Oh, wow. That's very impressive. Like, I wish I would do it for my entire life. I think when I was young, I was feeling so shy and so awkward. And I would always, look at the other girls and think, oh, I'm not a good dancer because I'm very clumsy as a person. Uh, but then I don't know. Since I moved here, I started like in Denmark, you have Friday bars, and I don't know, I had so many non-judgmental friends on my way, and I was, going to dance with them, and I really felt I could dance alone, and being like dancing alone, I don't know, it's an experience I think I've done in my late like when I came here. So it's been very recent. Like I came in Denmark in 2017, and at the beginning I didn't understand how important it was for me. But then something snipped, and in moments where I'm very stressed or very anxious, I try to take some time to dance it out,
Yeah.
and it really works really well for me.
I would recommend it to everybody. And that's exactly, I think that there is no like a wrong dancer. It's just like it's your body and you can do whatever you want. And so, yeah, I recommend dancing to everybody who can hear us.
Yes, do it.
Exactly. And so that maybe I will just ask one, or like, yeah, let's see how many questions more. But what are your plans for the future professionally?
Yes, because definitely I'm not becoming a ballet professional
You never
like
know.
dancer. But my near future looks very busy. As I said, I'm writing a few articles about artificial intelligence, and I will be participating in a symposium talking about a research project. I still cannot share much about it. And I'm planning to do a few workshops, one of them with NorthFi, and I'm very excited for it. So I'm having like a few collaborations with them, and they are really great people with big dreams, and they were like working as professionals. So they have a very high standards, and I really like working with them. So we will be looking into, creating some sort of computational toolkit for maybe non-user. I still have to define it well, but I got so many young people asking me, in the years how they can take the same path, or how can they implement computational design at work. So I'll be doing a workshop mostly thinking about these people. And then I have a few lectures and conferences around the world. So I might be, and I hope I might be traveling for that, because sometimes it's like, that technically is in a certain city, but you never know if you end up being just online. And online is nice. I got used to it, but I think you create very special connections when you manage to be in the room with someone.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that sounds very exciting. And maybe to that, so if somebody would like to follow you or would want to know about those workshops, what is the best way? Is it on LinkedIn, or what do you think?
I'm not good at LinkedIn, so I do a lot of research there, but I'm not super active. I tried; it's not my thing, but I use a lot Instagram, and I'm like definitely like posting a lot of stories. So you will always be updated on what I'm doing. And, I always also try to share like a few tips and tricks, or yeah, I think it's a good way to connect. And I always try to take time to answer to everyone, even if it requires some time.
Yeah. And that's a bit like a question out of the topic, but can you imagine that you would be doing something else for the living than you are doing?
I think I really found something I like very much. So it's a bit hard for me to think of something else. But if I could have the chance, maybe I would try to do hard coding in a different field. Like, like these programmers with the UDI. I think I would like to try that. But I don't know. I'm very happy with this, and it's also amazing to always be surrounded with the creative people. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's great to hear that you like what you do. And actually, I forgot to ask at the beginning. It's normally my first questions. But so where are you at this moment? You mentioned it already many times, but maybe to make it clear. And actually, how did you end up there? Because you are originally from Italy, but I know that you are not in the Italy right now.
Yeah, so I am in Copenhagen. I'm now sitting in one of the smaller meeting rooms at our office in Kobe. We are in Nordhavn, which is one of the coolest neighborhood in Copenhagen, and it's a master plan that we as Kobe designed. So we are, let's say, in some sort of one-to-one playground where we see a lot of things going on that that we shaped. So it's a lot of fun, and we are also very close to the city center where I live. And yeah, this is where I am. And I really love Copenhagen. I came here for the job. And I have to say that I didn't think that I would stay here for all my life, because moving from Italy, I thought, I'm up to do an experience abroad. I want to like improve my English. I want to see something else. But I thought it would be just an experience. And I was reading all this stuff about like, the bad weather, rainy, rainy. And so I wasn't like the most excited about it. But it took me 2 days. And I was like, I love this place. Don't move me from here, because I think here people have so much respect and they are so kind. And the city is really stress-free. And I'm coming from Napoli. And Napoli is beautiful, but it's also a crazy demanding city where you stress out so much, even just to, take public transports. So I realized how much freedom and how much, comfort I could have. And also as a woman, I feel so safe here in Denmark. And I never felt this way, coming back home late in the night on your bike alone, and you just feel that nothing is going to happen to you.
Yeah.
It's such a strong empowerment. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was in Copenhagen like a bit more than 2 months ago. Yeah, because I was actually on the way to Sweden, and then I went to actually Bjarke Engel's office to meet the first guest of the podcast. And it was my first time in Copenhagen. I was there like 2.5 days or something like that. And I was it was so like a chill city. I went to see some museums. I sit close to like a river. Read some books, and actually I was very lucky with the weather.
Yeah. And
And
if you get to Copenhagen with that weather, I think you really fall in love.
Yeah. The thing is, I love mountains, so the Switzerland is maybe a bit better, but I was like, definitely I have to go to Copenhagen again. So yeah.
No. I aired this many times. Like people that love mountains cannot live here. It's too flat. Yeah. Like it's very, very flat city. Instead, I'm like water person. So I need to be close to the water to be happy. So this is perfect.
Cool. So I think we are almost at the end of our interview. The last thing I would like to ask, so there are the 5 questions that I ask every guest. I'm not sure. I hope you didn't hear them yet.
No, yeah, I swear.
Yeah, it's just like a very short answer. You will see. So are you ready?
Oh my God.
No worries. No worries. No worries.
Let's try this.
Also, sorry, that was German. So, tea or coffee?
Oh, Jesus. It really depends on my mood.
Okay.
I switch all the time during the day, but generally I go more for coffee. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure if this would fit to you, but Archicad or Revit? I think the
Revit.
Okay. Working on the cool project or being in the nature?
Ouch. Okay, I would prioritize my well-being. So to be like a healthy person, I would go in the nature. Yes.
Apple or Microsoft?
Microsoft, because we need to work. Like what I do, it wouldn't be possible. But I have. Yeah, I'm like all the rest is Apple, but yeah, if I have to pick only one, I would choose Microsoft.
Okay. And the last one is where is your happy place?
So I have the answer. My happy place is Platz, and probably I don't even know how to pronunciate it. And it's just a coincidence that is a project by Kobe. I didn't know before. it is a very beautiful place in Copenhagen along the canals. And I used to go there every day after working at the Trixen office. And it makes me feel so connected to myself. It's a place that I love very much.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then thank you so much for the answers. I think we are at the end of the interview.
Thank you. Thank you very much.